Hey everyone, hope you're having a nice Friday. In England at the minute we've got a red weather warning for wind, so if you don't see me next week I've been blown away. I just thought I'd quickly show you what I've been up to with the Abrams. I'm on school holidays at the minute, so I can do a bit more. Because the weather's been so nasty we've not really done anything, so I've been home with the kids. Oddly enough, the reason why I'm called Mr. Tank a lot, my daughter named it to me, so I'll just have to stick with it. Because you know when your daughter asks you to do something, if you change it, they will find out. So, what I've done is I've modified the flaps and put rubber mud flaps on. They'll go lower in time. It's just a bit bendy, they're a bit stiff at the minute, but they weather. I've put the little hinge point where it should be. What Heng Long do is instead of keeping this line going straight along, so from here in a nice straight line, and then the mud guard flap bulges out, they do it so that this bit slowly comes out to match up with this, which means you lose this pin detail. And it's a really important part if you look at the Abrams at the front. It just makes it look more like a model than a toy. I've cut through this way so that I can get a gap between here and there, because these flaps are all bent. They're aluminium, and I think the troops tread on them when they get off, and they always get bent down that way, so they bulge out here. And then cut this way for that. I've added the little plastic card bits. You can get this from any evergreen supplies, so that's really useful. And it's the right size, so that's really handy. See there? Just show you the other side. So the same thing. I've got to do the pin detail, but I didn't last night. I'll do it today. I've redone the headlight guards. The biggest thing with the Heng Long tanks is the headlights are always a bit dodgy. So again, trusty micro saw. You chop through there to get it down through the light, and then you cut this off so that you have this detail. This would be hard to reproduce, and if you've got it, you might as well use it. Don't worry about cutting LED through, because I milled those right down so that they went into the recess of the light fitting, so that I can put lenses. Now, I make lenses because I can't find any. It's acetate, clear plastic, prod. You heat it up, and then you find what size you want on a drill sizing gauge, and when it's hot, not burnt but hot, so it's pliable, you push it into the hole. And if you put underneath the hole a bit of metal with some scoring on it, it will give you the headlight strip marks on it, you know, the moldings on headlights. These are the saws that I use. I couldn't live without these. They're just so handy for these tanks, and you can chop everything off with it. It's great. It's like if I was taking this handle off, they go so flush. But you literally haven't got any sanding to do. It's to save so much time. The next thing I'm going to do on these headlights is I'm going to take the back of this down a little bit where the LED goes in. You can see where the two pins should have been bent down, so that I can fit this square section, which is the right size, so we get rid of the look of the toy looking end of the LED. So we've got to do that today. I'll put pictures up of what I've done. With this, don't try and make these covers out of situ. You drill a hole for the size of the light that you want, and it tidies up any damage that you've done to the edge of the LED. And then you stick it over so the hole is central, and you don't have to cut it to the shape. You stick it on so it's nice and stuck, then you cut it to shape while it's on the unit, and it's so much easier. That bit is stepped, so that's right. So if you damage any of that cutting this off, you reface it so you don't notice. I've done the driver's hatch. So I put some pictures up on how I did this. Good old Tamiya trusty plastic scriber. Excellent, couldn't live without this. So you scribe around with that. You also use a little drill for the tight corner bits. I'll put some pictures up at the end of this video. And again, trusty old saw. So that way, because they're so thin, it doesn't take off too much material. I've edged it, and also if you can see, there's a lip, and that's how it fits on the actual tank. I've got to do the edging part there that goes on the Abrams, and I've also got to put a spring on it so it stays down, sort of thing, so when it's dry it doesn't fall off. So there's that and that. I've gotten rid of the attachment point for the big generator because I'm not using this. I've decided I'm going to do a Sep 2 tank with a ludicrously large machine gun on here because I've found one that on the barrel someone's written Darth Helmet. I've got to do it. So I've done it at the back. A bit of a pain of a job that was because you have to fill it. This, if you put a piece of plastic that's straight edged here so that you get the edge that's correct on the other side, and then build the filler up around that. Mainly fill the holes with plasticard, and then I used car body filler because it's just stronger, model filler for that, and then I skimmed it off. I removed this weld bead here because it doesn't have one on a real tank, and basically you use this and you do that, and it just takes the whole thing off down to bare. It's great. I love that little tool because it's flat on the end, so you can use it like that, like a milling. You can cut lines with it, which is how I milled the inside of that, and I'll show you pictures. Yeah, I don't want this video to be too long because you'll get really bored with me. This is the most boring channel on YouTube. A bloke said grass cutting, but no, this has got to be quite good. As you know, I did the wheels. There's nothing else I've done there, but again, if you see, this line here should follow straight through until it gets to the pin detail. It shouldn't bulge out to the flap. So a simple little fix again. Again, I milled it off and then used files to make it flatter. The other thing I've done, let's put that there, is I've made a smoke box so that the smoke, instead of coming out the two holes that were here that look stupid, and your branch shouldn't really smoke, to be honest with you, it's a gas turbine. But if it's gonna have to smoke, I'd rather it came out the right hole, which then comes out of here. I've drilled these all out, so this is a proper grill now. I've cut this back so that it looks like it's the grill attached rather than being moulded on. The LEDs, I'll show you what I mean about the size of them. Let me just push this out. Come on, over here. If you look at it, can you see there's an awful lot of plastic above it? So you can literally mill this all the way down until about 1 millimeter from the diode. I wouldn't go any closer. And you can shape them. And then you just polish them back up again. It's really simple. Just use really fine sandpaper and then some car polish, literally. And you polish the LED back again. The other thing I'm going to do today is burnishing the tracks. It's an easy job. It's quite fun. Yeah, so that's basically what I've done so far. And I'll put some pictures at the end of this just to show you how I've done it and what I've done. Okay, look, have a lovely week. If you don't see me, I've been blown away. There we go. And yeah, and I've done the LED thing on the Chieftain, and I'll quickly show you how much better it looks. I'll do a separate video. So yeah, let's just put the turret back on. Oops. There we go. And then Mr. Tankalot's going to go and get himself some breakfast. Have a lovely day. Bye.